Now today we're going to be talking about why the under 20 match was so important. It's like the more I read this arc, the more I am amazed at just how well this arc went. This arc changed Blue Lock for what it is today, and I really want to highlight how special this arc was and why it is still the greatest arc in Blue Lock to this day. So first, it was really the preparation for the under 20 match that set things off. We find out that Ego has to cut the Blue Lock project short and prepare the players to face off against the under 20 team in Japan to take over the team and keep Blue Lock running. This forces Ego to change all of his plans and prepare for the match. In doing so, we get the third selection that showcases 5v5 games where the top 6 players alternate with 3 players to decide who would be the top 11 players to start in the match. And this time it was showcasing which players could assert themselves into the top 6 and make themselves valuable to be seen. The ones who started eventually were able to do so, and we then get to the top 11 players who end up getting their chance to play. The third selection was a pretty short arc and we did not see too much, but it was good to see the top 6 players of Blue Lock go at it and showcase the skills of players that we had not seen yet in the series. Now the under 20 match really allowed Blue Lock to set their eyes on the big stage right away. They were so used to playing against each other in training rooms and practice areas, but now they're playing in front of a crowd with cheering fans in an actual rule-setting official game. This is a big learning opportunity for many players to see what it's like to actually play in front of a big crowd. Most of the players just went to a normal high school, so I doubt they had ever played in a crowd like this one, and it further showed just how much they had to adapt to a roaring crowd that was not on their side. I also really loved the under 20 match as it showcased the new Gen 11 Atoshi Sai. I think Sai was the perfect first new Gen 11 to showcase for us, as he is Rin's brother and it motivated him to want to win even more, as well as having Sai pick Shido and take the number 2 striker who did not get along with Rin. Sai showcased the skills of a new Gen 11 player, and everyone in Blue Lock knew that he was someone who was a cut above the rest. They had already played against the World Select players, but Sai was right below them and they still knew the gap in their skills, as Sai was still someone they could not fully handle. Seeing the real deal in person allowed them to understand where they stand in their skills compared to the rest of the world, and Sai was a prime example showcasing how they still are not ready to fully defeat players of his caliber. During the match, the Blue Lock players finally start to understand the meaning of stress during the game. The plays that they were working on in practice were not working at all, and Ego explained this perfectly as they were practicing in a no-stress environment. The presence of stress starts to ease up as your muscles tense up and your thoughts are coming to a stop, and the only way to overcome that stress is by improvising. Ego does not help them out at all and lets them think and come up with new ways to overcome that stress because he trusts in them to deliver when he needs them to. This was a big test during the match as Atoshi Sai had just took all the momentum away in the game after scoring the first goal of the game. Blue Lock 11 needed to find a way to counteract and come up with new plays on the fly. The under 20 match showed us a lot of character development as well as evolution of a lot of players. We could see the improvement in players and just how hard they were fighting to win this match as it went down to the wire and many had to go beyond their limits to stay hot in this game. The use of improvising was a major course in this game as Blue Lock's style of play constantly confused the under 20 team. Blue Lock 11 was a playstyle that would involve teamwork but then go to a solo split up style of offense where they were close to the goal. This type of irrational playstyle was unforeseen and very confusing as everyone's desire was to score goals and become the protagonist of the match. I like how many players became a great player after this game and then further used those skills into the NEL. It was because of how good the under 20 team was that Blue Lock was able to adapt fast and catch up with the skills of everyone around them. The main focal point of Blue Lock 11 started with Rin, who was able to command everything and become the main center point for the team. You also had Karasu, who was a great leader and key piece of the team. He did it all and solely focused on doing whatever it took to win. The under 20 match also eventually led to Shido's super goal being made. Shido was able to interflow and showcase one of the best goals we have seen in Blue Lock so far. This comes down to his natural talent and his challenge of entering flow by wanting to explode more and leave his imprint onto the world. Shido was a new character after first meeting him after the second selection, and we come to see just how good he is. In this match, him and Atoshi Sai completely take over, and this disrupts everything for the Blue Lock 11. Blue Lock have been playing nothing short of their best, and yet Shido was still able to achieve a super goal and completely diminish the momentum that Blue Lock had, and started to cause worry for the Blue Lock 11. At that certain point in time, they did not know how they were going to win. Isagi going to Ego for advice was really worthwhile as he wanted to find something that could help them win this game. As Ego has no plans for him, Isagi still decides to tell him that he doesn't want to lose. Losing is the same as dying, and all he knows is a battlefield for soccer. He doesn't want to hear excuses like Blue Lock will be fine even in defeat. Ego was surprised at how much ego had been developed for the players throughout their time in Blue Lock, and it makes sense as he created situations that allowed their full ego to display, and now they are showcasing that wholeheartedly. The purpose of Blue Lock was to find a striker who can create football's most critical moment. Ego had no plans on losing and gives the Blue Lock 11 their most powerful offensive unit yet with adding in Borrow. With this, we have this insane lineup that had been brought up, and this comes from Ego's philosophy and keys to the game, which is to overwhelm them and win by scoring goals. A team that gives up 5 goals but wins by scoring 6. It was the ultimate trust from Ego as he is just saying annihilate them with overwhelming offense. This is the most powerful and geared lineup meant strictly for offense and that we have seen so far in Blue Lock. It was a complete lineup of straight strikers who are thirsty for scoring. One of the biggest highlights from the game was Rin entering flow and then being able to stop Sai at an important moment in the game. This goes without saying, as Rin basically saved them the game, as no one else was able to stop Sai single-handedly, and as Sai turned up the game volume, he was more impressive than ever. For Rin to be able to stop his brother in that moment was awesome and a good feat, as it was completely changed the tides of the game that would further result in the future of Blue Lock. Then we have Isagi's goal, which is the most iconic goal we have seen in Blue Lock so far. This goal is a goal that changed Blue Lock forever, as Isagi takes control and invites his own luck. This goal symbolized a lot because of the word luck used in the panel. Prior to the under 20 match, Isagi could not accept the fact that Rin used luck to win in the second selection, and Ego explains to him how Rin was able to create his own luck and reach the goal. Isagi eventually updates his understanding and his resolve to accept the outcome that eventually helps him later on, as he then creates his own luck from Rin and scores his goal in the under 20. It was great foreshadowing to show that Isagi has been working on himself and really updating his mind as the series goes on. Blue Lock has reached a point of no return, as Isagi's goal has put Blue Lock on the map in front of the entire world. Everyone now knows what Blue Lock is, and they can all see their hero Isagi, who was the one that scored the goal. This game brought a lot of attention to Ego, and he now has full control of the under 20 Japan team and can do whatever he wants now. Blue Lock can no longer go back to a private training center anymore, as everyone wants to see more of them. They became famous overnight sensations in just one day from one game. This game changed the lives of all of them, as the NEL was getting ready to be set up. Now as the under 20 match is over, we see many people on the phone calling about Blue Lock, and we see that one of them is Kaiser. This is the indicator of the NEL starting up, and many calling in to get a piece of the new Blue Lock. The NEL is a catalyst from the under 20 match, as the players from Blue Lock now had some experience of playing in real life situational matches, and now get to go against more world class players and learn under the master strikers from the teams to further improve their skills. This is all set up from Blue Lock winning this match. The NEL is an entertainment center used to show all of the players and get them to showcase their value to the world so that they can be picked up by a team and have offers. It was a really good setup to go from the under 20 match to the NEL. With this, Blue Lock's lives have changed forever. Isagi's goal has completely changed the world, and even he knows that. He is a hero of Blue Lock that has cemented his reputation already. He continues now to grow and get better in the NEL on Germany's team Munchen. Blue Lock now has set their eyes on a new dimension and becoming the best striker in the world. Ego continues to strike the pot while it's hot and is now throwing them into their hardest challenge yet, and that's the NEL. He wants them to get better as fast as possible, as the World Cup is not far from them, and he still knows that they are not ready for the challenge at hand. The under 20 match had highlight moments for days, and this really was a peak spot of Blue Lock, as the build up towards it was done well and the events that happened in that arc were really worthwhile. How do you guys feel about the under 20, and do you think that there will be an arc in the future that will be able to surpass this one? Let me know in the comments. Well, I thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.